So I'm building a nice house, and what happens when you're building a nice house? Things tend to go over budget. You're doing things once, you want to do it right. Same thing when you're building a car, same thing when you go on a nice vacation. You start going out and it's just like, you know what? We'll deal with this later. What does that result in? I don't know. You've got one credit card that's full, maybe another credit card that's full. Oh, let me sign up for that store credit card. And before you know it, it all starts to get a little overwhelming. Well, that's where today's video sponsor, Upstart, comes in. Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart finds smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess more than just your credit score. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate upfront for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. You can get approved the same day, and you can receive funds as fast as one business day. If debt is taking over your life, it's time to get a fresh start with Upstart. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments by visiting upstart.com/SSR. That's upstart.com/SSR. Loan amounts will be determined on your credit, your income, and other bits of information that you're going to fill out on your application. Give them a shot today. That's upstart.com/SSR. All right, so I got robbed, right? And I didn't cover it in the last video, but Rob, why would you do this? Well, this is a tip in securing stuff on your property. Now, I looked, and when I moved out of Gotham, I took all the stuff that I had, put it in the storage, right? It was in store, like this is like not the cars and everything, but just like crap. And the crap sat there for like 2 years, paying storage every month. At the end of the day, I'm like, I just spent $15,000 to store this stuff. And if somebody offered me 15 grand for all of it, it's gone, right? I mean, it's worth a lot more than that, but to me, it's stuff that I don't touch for 2 years. How important really is it? So when we were faced with the same situation, we were using the house to store stuff while it was there. Now that we were taking the house down, we had to put that stuff somewhere. So I said we can either go rent a storage unit for whatever, and I'm glad because now 14 months later, it would have cost me 400, like I don't know, like 6 grand to store this stuff. I said, let's just put it in the garage. The garage is going to stay. I'll build a platform, store the stuff in the garage. Now, I'm doing this during the day. People can see me doing it. And somebody could drive by, or whatever the situation may be, where somebody saw me building and moving stuff into the storage unit. And then I got robbed, right? And this is something where I was like, it has to be the guys that are demoing the house. You know why? Because they took the other stuff without asking. And like, it's just only logical that they were just saying, like, this is a free-for-all, let's take everything, and he won't notice for a year, and he won't know who to blame. However, I was wrong. And how do I solve that problem? Well, first thing I do, I was going to get locks for the garage too, but it's not something I figured I needed to do imminently. And fast forward, now there's no power on the property because they cut that to do the demo. They cut that weeks ago. I decided to go get a trail camera because a trail camera can operate on motion. It can operate day or night, it can stay out in the elements, and it operates on batteries. So the trail camera went up. I ordered it on the 2nd of December, and fast forward to the 5th of December when it got there, I got somebody on night 1. And you know what? It wasn't who I thought it was. All right, trail camera just paid for itself. So here you got the first day. You look in the bottom right corner. This is the date that I put the camera up, was December 5th. And right next to it, you see the time. It's actually shitbag o'clock. And this guy is breaking into my garage. Now, the garages weren't actually easy to open. They were sort of broken and janky to begin with, which is why I didn't bother putting locks on them, because who's going to break into the garage on a house that was just knocked down? This guy came with a flashlight. He knew what he was doing. He came in and was clearly looking to get something. What annoys me is I don't know how many times they were in there prior to this. They could have been there every single day for the days since I put stuff in there until now. And guess what? Here's a surprise. Enter player 2. Now we have organized crime. Now we've got 2 guys. This guy, I don't know what's in his hand. I can't tell if it's gloves. I can't tell if it's, who knows what it is. But either way, the thing only records a minute at a time, and then it records new motion. So that's why it looks a little stop motion here. These guys go, they're in there for a while. This time they're actually in there for about 8 minutes. You'll see I speed up the camera here just so you don't have to sit here and watch through all of this. And they get a haul for the night. Here you'll see he's probably got some clothing and some stuffed animals, 3 bags full of them, good for him. And the other guy's nice enough to close the garage door so I don't notice anyone was there. And for that effort, he gets himself a space heater. Congratulations, good sir, but it wasn't who I thought it was. These guys have nothing to do with the guys taking down the house. These are just random guys that somehow know that I have stuff in the garage. And how did I even know that stuff was missing from the garage, that washing machine was missing from the garage? Because I went in there to grab something and I was walking and I put the washing machine, was one of the last things I put in. And I was like, how on earth? Like, it was such a pain in the butt to get up there. Who took the washing machine? I know it's here. I put it here. I dragged it up. I like almost cracked my arms in half, dragging it up the hill. The wheels on the hand truck are only this big. So you hit like a twig and it's like trying to wheel a washing machine by yourself over a mountain or a speed bump. It was terrible. But I ended up getting it up there. And at the end of the day, when it was missing, I was like, what's going on right now? Now the trail camera is only set to record like 30 or 60 seconds at a time. It's not a full-time video recording device, because say you have a squirrel having a party in front of your trail camera, it'll kill the entire battery. So I can tell from the timestamp that they were in the storage unit or in the garage for 8 minutes the first night, and fast forward the second night, boom, they're right back in there. Yep, we know how to open that garage door. We figured it out the first night. So they came back again on the 6th. This is after I got the snapshots, after I submitted the information over to the cops. These guys came in and tapped in again and hit me up on another night, which is a little bit frustrating. But you'll see right here, it is the very next day, and it's 1936. 1936 is not very late. It's winter time. So it is just after it got dark, they snuck over. That would make a little bit more sense, because when I found out who it was, it would make sense that they would be there just after dusk. It's strange because there's no real direct access to my property from the back without crossing through other people's properties. So you would either have to be affiliated with those properties to gain access, or you're taking a really long walk when you could just pull in off the street, load up, and get out of there. So you could see they were there for a short amount of time. They came, they took, they're out. So now this is at least the 3rd time that these guys are in there. And luckily, I got a good look at their face on the 6th. When they were only in there for a couple of minutes on the 6th, I at least got a good look at their face. And then I start sending the pictures over to the cops. Local cops were not able to identify. They did the usual. They took the report. They went around. And then I sent the photos around to the neighbors. And I said, hey, do these guys look familiar? And he's like, what'd they do? I'm like, that sounds like you know them. And it turns out that they were the landscaper for the neighbor. Now, here I'm in a dilemma. And they don't know what I know. And I know they took some stuff, but I have no idea what they took. Like, I've got valuable stuff in there. I've got invaluable stuff. And remember, valuable stuff is relative, right? If it went in there, I assume that if the whole thing collapsed on itself, I could replace it. So nothing in there was not replaceable, but there was stuff of value. So I said, look, I have a catalog of every single thing that went into that garage, which was not true. But I just wanted to make them think that I did. And I said, if they give me a list of everything they take, because I'm not going to go through and itemize everything right now. If they tell me a list of everything they took, we'll have a discussion and maybe I won't press charges. So they said they took the washing machine, which they said they were going to bring back. They took some kids' toys. They took the space heater. They didn't even say the space heater, but I have them walking out in the space heater. And they took some kids' clothes. Like my wife put all the clothes in garbage bags. They took bags of kids' clothes. So here I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, I've got like safes in there, but the safes are empty, but they don't know this. I've got 2 safes in there, which are sort of on the outside and accessible. I've got some art stuff in there. I've got there's stuff that definitely has more value than a space heater, a washing machine, and bags of clothes. And I've got a brand new microwave in there that was unopened. So they were grabbing stuff that they needed and not stuff that they were out to resell, right? So that's where I was like, all right, this is tough. It's like 2 weeks before Christmas. I've now caught the guys that stole stuff out of my place. But they're taking kids' toys and stuffed animals and clothing for their kids and a washing machine, which they can use, and a space heater, which they can use. I was like, I can't, in good conscience, I can't, press charges against these people. I said, if they pay for the washing machine, I looked it up, I bought it at Home Depot, it was $1,100, $1,200. I said, if they give me the money for the washing machine, they can keep everything else as long as they're not lying to me, and this is done as far as I'm concerned. Still feels very, very dirty. Feels very not cool to have this happen to you. Nobody wants to get robbed, but I am glad that I figured out who it was. And again, there may be more stuff they took. I'll never find out. I mean, it's the problem with having a bunch of crap, is that like there's stuff that I may never, oh, where's that thing? I don't know. I probably lost it. Probably threw it in the dumpster when I wasn't paying attention. So there is that. But at least I identified, with the help of a trail camera, I was able to then keep the property safe for the rest of the time. I put padlocks on the garage, and that's now overreacting. That's like putting a car alarm in your car after it's already been burglarized. Like, it's probably too late. What are the odds of it getting burglarized twice? And then the garage was never broken into again for the remainder of the construction. So stay tuned. We got sorted coming up next, and after sorted, you're going to see the prepping for the foundation. We've got all the site work, the holes being dug, lots of good stuff. We'll get to that next time. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.